Palm Springs is a second home for me. However, I always wondered and started asking out loud, where are all the Black people? Also, we're in California, so what does the Latino community look like in Palm Springs? This particular trip means a lot to me because I'm back in one of my favorite places in the world with a mission to answer these questions. It's time to dive into Palm Springs, extending beyond just the downtown strip. So I'm staying at the newly renovated Royal Sun Hotel in Palm Springs, and I'm obsessed. True to Palm Springs' old school vibes and quirk, this property also dons an elevated and aesthetically insane food and drink menu. Today, I've got two friends coming through, Jenese, who has been a longtime No Madness member of mine turned friend, and then Megan, who I found through her Instagram account focusing on Black events and culture in Palm Springs. I got my girls here.
Hey.
This is so cool. I come to Palm Springs and so many times I'm just like in and out. Every once in a while I snatch Jenese up.
Absolutely.
She takes me under her wing and we go out for drinks or food and we talk about what's the latest and the greatest. And Megan, it's a pleasure to meet you also.
Nice to meet you, yes.
I've just been following the stuff that you've been doing.
Thank you.
I think it's awesome.
Thank you. I'm touched. I'm honored.
Yeah. And so you started an Instagram account that's dedicated. So let's talk a little bit about your Instagram account.
Sure.
Yeah. What was the impetus for it? Why do you think it's important right now?
Well, first and foremost, kind of basically what we're talking about, the idea that the Black and African American community is not very visible here. You don't fit any of the demographics, any of the expected demographics of who's in Palm Springs. So what's there to do? What is there for you to do there? You just hang out with a bunch of retirees, right? Oh my gosh. So I was like, I took that personally, and I wanted to essentially dispel and start to push back and essentially rebrand Palm Springs as a place where people who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s can have a great time, and there's plenty for us to do here.
Yeah, I totally agree. I came from a very heavily prominently white county in Maryland, and one of the reasons why I chose to move to California was to give my children the experience to be in an area where the minorities were the majority. And I think that it's funny because a lot of the people that I connect with in Palm Springs are not from Palm Springs. So we all pretty much have kind of like that same notion of being in a safe space, one, two, but then also getting in these situations where you have to go outside, you have to go out and experience things.
Your life. I guess my last question really is, if for somebody who was coming in, if you had a visitor from outside, a Black visitor that wanted to get an idea of like where to go for some of the like history that pertains to us that's like in Palm Springs, what are some of the like must-see, do not miss places that you would recommend, and neighborhoods?
Yeah. Well, I'll say there is Section 14. There's a huge history behind Section 14 in downtown Palm Springs. Though the city, positive that the city council did vote unanimously to provide, to award reparations, and they're still trying to figure all that out. But again, I think that's another symbol of the openness and welcomingness of Palm Springs.
Right.
I've been eager to meet Dieter and go on his Urban Palm Springs Black History Tour since I first heard about it. As a Black American woman who does the work that I do, amplifying diverse communities, one of the things I've always felt coming to Palm Springs and staying primarily downtown was that there weren't many Black people. I mean, I knew we were here, I just didn't know where. And I didn't know the history as to why we aren't readily visible downtown. This tour lays it all out for me. Okay, so where are we right now?
So right now, we're on Section 14 of the Agua Caliente Indian Reservation. In the early 1930s, the main available living area for working class people of Palm Springs was this area of town, which is adjacent to the downtown business area of the city. Section 14 is where most of the African American population settled when they came here to Palm Springs.
And you said this is where the area where they were originally removed from once it started to become popular in downtown?
In the 1950s, Palm Springs began to get really popular with the tourist crowd and with the Hollywood crowd. So the city of Palm Springs, they felt that it wouldn't be a great idea to have a predominantly community of color located in the center of town.
I spent 2 hours with Dieter on this tour. There's so much to learn and soak in, and not nearly enough time in this episode to cover it all. I highly recommend seeking out the Urban Palm Springs Black History Tour next time you're in town.
it.